Hi, everybody, and welcome to Backstage Pass. Hope everyone had great holidays, had a fantastic time. You had a blessed and joyous holiday season. It's great to be back with you. We've got a fantastic interview coming up, a review from John Daniel, and a little bit of an update on what's happening in your community. Stay tuned. Hi, everybody. I have a wonderful, wonderful guest today, a super special guest, someone who's become very important in our lives in the last couple of months here at Theatre Orangeville, Sara May. Hi, Sara. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, David?
I am fantastic. Great to see you. Sara May, AKA Falcon Jane, but we will come to that.
Yes.
We will come to that in just a couple of minutes. So as everybody knows, about 4 months ago now, I guess, we, as a result of all the stuff that's going on in the world, Theatre Orangeville pivoted to online programming. Theatre Orangeville Presents Online. We've done some amazing shows, fundraisers, Halloween shows, great Christmas shows, and great shows coming up. But of course, we needed to start working with a world-class videographer. Voila! Sara came into our lives. Sara, how are you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, I just kind of like appeared at the right moment, didn't I?
I know, you just kind of magically appeared in our life. Well, hardly magical, because you grew up in this community, right?
I did. I actually was part of a Theatre Orangeville production, the Young Company production of Alice in Wonderland back in like 2000
yeah,
maybe.
long time ago.
Long ass time ago, yeah.
Right, I know for sure. So you've been part of the family for a long time, but you grew up in the area. You went to school here, and
I did, yeah.
And
so
did
I
all
went
that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, I moved to this side of the province
Right.
when I was like 10. So I went to Mono Amaranth, and then I went to ODSS, and yeah.
So
and then,
you're a Hockley brat. Is that kind of what that is?
I am a Huckley brat.
A Hockley. That's you see, now there it is. You see, now not everybody gets that, because
Yeah.
I've started saying it too, but then I kind of go Hockley, and they go, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
But it is a little bit of a different pronunciation, isn't it?
It is, yeah. The old school peeps will appreciate that, I think. But
for sure, it's like the ear and Aaron thing that goes on. Like they can tell if you're from away, right?
That's too controversial for me, the ear and Aaron thing.
Oh no, that's, you can't even start on that. That's that it only ends in tears.
Yeah,
yours, like it can never end well. So Hockley went to ODSS. You were like queen of the improv team. You were.
Yeah, I lived for improv back then. I thought I was going to be an actress. I joined the improv team in grade 9, which at the time, I don't want to brag, but that was kind of like unheard of at the time, to be a grade 9er on the improv team. And but I was just so amazing that they needed to have.
And who was running the team at that time? What teacher was?
That was that was like the year after Gord retired.
Right.
So, it was Tony Culp.
Right. Oh yeah, Tony. Wow. Yeah. They were, and of course those guys competed like provincially and that like were really.
Yeah, they were going to like nationals in Ottawa all the time. I never got that far, but we'd go to regionals and
yeah, for sure. And we used to have you guys used to perform. Because we'd see you every year at the Dufferin Youth Festival of the Arts. Like the ODSS improv team was always a big part of what that festival was, right?
Yeah, lots of community stuff.
So between that and themed dress-up parties that I've heard about, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have spies everywhere. I have spies up the Huckley Valley. They sort of tell me everything, right? So you come to this honestly. You have a history, an honest history, right?
Yeah, so I thought I wanted to be an actress, and then auditioned for the Ryerson acting program after high school, and didn't get in, thankfully, because I don't think I'm an actress. I'm really quite bad at it. But I also got into the Ryerson film program. So I just decided to go into that. Yeah. And here I am.
Well, I mean, everybody who's been watching our programming certainly is seeing your work. I mean, it's a collaborative process. We all work on it, but it's your vision, a lot of creating the look and the feel of the show. How has that experience been so far? I mean, to be in theater doing, because we're going to talk about your music and all of that, because I know that you direct and film your own videos, which are fantastic, and we're going to get to see. We're going to watch one of those in just a couple minutes, but just talk about that experience so far, what it's been for you.
It was intimidating at first, I'll admit. because I didn't really know what I was getting into, but I've really, really been loving it. Like it's really, I've realized it's really mixing so many things that I love. Like I do have like, all high school and everything, I was very like theatrical, but then I kind of let go of that. But I'm a live music performer, so I've always had like a great sense of like performance within me, and filming the shows at Theatre Orangeville is just so fun because I get to like be part of a performance and also like doing what I love, making videos, editing them together, like working with the team to like make them as creative and dynamic as possible. It's like really turned into quite a dream job for me. So thank you for having me.
Well, no, you're an integral part of who and what we are now. But I was saying to someone just this morning, excuse me, that I almost feel a little bit guilty in the sense that you and myself and Lisa LaVue and Becky Morris and Dan Palmieri and our crew, our team that are in the theater, masked, of course, and there we are. We're sitting there with our masks on and our shields and hand sanitizer and gloves and all of that stuff in these wacky and crazy times. But I don't know about how you feel about it, but just to be sitting there experiencing live music or actors or just that live experience, I'd forgotten how much I missed it.
Yeah.
And how much it means to me, and I think your gift is that you've really been able to capture the essence of what that experience is. And maybe it comes from your music background or your performer background, but that sense of the excitement of the live experience. Like I don't feel like I'm watching an MTV, like I'm dating myself now, MTV video, or that kind of stuff, right? But that you really capture that. So tell me a little bit about that around that.
I totally agree. Like I've been very aware of how much I've been missing live shows in general, music, like any kind of performance theater, since, last February, almost a year now. It's been something that's been really making me quite sad and lonely because I was performing like, almost every week, and if not performing, going to multiple shows a week. And being in the theater and experiencing, I don't know if I would feel guilty. I just feel very lucky to get to be part of that and see it and like see these incredible performers get on stage and like give it their all. And it's really inspiring. And that's always been a big source of inspiration for me, like going to an awesome show, like as a musician, going to see like an awesome band, like you come away from that experience and like I like, it gives me that like kick in the butt to either like write a song or like, get the band together and practice, or like gives me idea for my own performance. And this past weekend we were shooting An Affair of the Heart, and after the first day I like went home and like immediately grabbed my guitar and I was like, that's it, I'm doing it, I'm playing my songs, like I'm inspired again. And it's really hard to live without that. So I feel very lucky to get these small doses of it, but the talent is like top notch, like world class.
I know, it's astonishing.
Yeah,
just sit and listen for us to listen to Leslie Arden.
Yeah.
Sit at that piano, that magnificent instrument that lives in the Opera House, or Trevor Pat or Derek Marshall, any Lisa Way, any of those great performers that have been in. It's been astonishing. But lovely segue, I might add too. Okay, let's and I always have to be careful when I say it.
Yes.
Falcon Jane.
Yeah.
So what's the story there? Come on. Why Falcon Jane? Because you're an amazing musician. I've been listening to a lot of your music and loving your videos. You're extremely gifted, but what's with the Falcon Jane thing?
It's honestly, it's old. Like I made up Falcon Jane probably in like 2012 or 2011. So it's been around for a while. It was like a product of necessity, I felt, because I was going to a lot of open mics in Toronto at the time, especially at like Free Times Cafe. I don't know if anyone remembers Free Times Cafe on College Street. And I just felt like my name, Sara May, was just too like common. And there was a musician around already named Sara May. There was like a couple people in Orangeville named Sara May, one of whom like has the exact same spelling as me. And every time I go to the camera store in Newmarket, they're like, "Are you that Sara May?" And I'm like, "No." And then the other Sara May from Orangeville. So I just felt like I needed a name, and I've always loved the name Jane. I love the way it sounds. I also kind of like the sort of every woman sort of aspect of it, like Jane Doe or like Dick and Jane sort of thing. Like it's, or like G.I. Jane sort of thing, Jungle Jane. Like it's got like, it's a cool name. And I love Jane Goodall. So yeah, just like one day I was walking down Queen Street when I was still living in Toronto, and I just remember being like Falcon Jane, and then it just sounded right and it felt good coming out of my mouth. And then I just started writing it down on the open mic lists, and here we are.
Well, it's fantastic. Now, listening to your music, you create something you call ples rock. Is that correct?
Yeah, you're saying it right. Yeah, that's
thanks. Awesome. And that you say that you come as an artist, as a songwriter, as a singer. You said from I had to write it down, from the Canadian wilderness.
Ples rock. Your research. Wow.
Tell me about ples rock. Okay, like we're gonna get to the music, but
yeah,
where that comes from, because I know glam rock, I know acid rock, I know whatever, but ples rock. What's ples rock?
Ples rock is, to put it simply, is short for pleasant rock. It was just, it's a long story, but the short story is we needed a way to describe the type of music we were making. And the word pleasant just kind of seemed to fit. All the songs that I make, even though that they might not come from a very like chill or pleasant place, a lot of them actually come from a very like dark place within me. But it doesn't matter how sad the actual like content is or how dark it is. Like the songs end up sounding very like chill, like kind of summery, breezy, and pleasant. So when people ask me what type of music I make, like I didn't really know what to say. Like indie rock, like what does that mean? It doesn't really mean anything. Singer-songwriter also could mean all kinds of things.
Yeah, for sure.
Alternative doesn't really mean anything either. So I just started saying ples rock or pleasant rock, and I just think it's stuck.
So you created your own genre of music.
I did. I felt like I had to.
Because when I mean, you were super prolific. Like you did about 3 or 4 digital albums, right? Like you Take Off. Like, so you started in like 2012.
Yeah.
The Alive album, which is great, love songs. I first heard you, when you were starting to come on board. I think it was perhaps Becky Morris. It was the album that you did last summer, the We Get By album. Oh, yeah. I guess was a digital album that I started listening to, and that was my first encounter with you musically. And because it was, I made the assumption, stupid me, that because you were covers. What did you call it? I even wrote it down because it really totally moved me. Collections of covers we made to ease our way through the lethargy and uncertainty of the pandemic. I mean, it was fantastic, but they were cover tunes, and I went, maybe she's a cover artist or whatever that was. And then I heard Feelin' Freaky, which was your first full-length album, right? That was
pretty
in
much.
2018. Yeah. I have to confess, I mean, I love the song that we're going to listen to and that we're going to get to see the video. But I think that my favorite song so far of yours is Ginger Ale.
Oh, really?
I totally, and it's because I love ginger ale so much. It's like my go-to thing. If I'm feeling like, a little whatever, I have to have a ginger ale.
Oh, yeah.
But also, if everybody has to just watch the video, because one of the things that we joke around about here is running through sprinklers. And when I saw that video and I had a ginger ale, and it just like so spoke to me. Okay, but come on, with that, go with the flow. What's with this? What's with the smoking thing? It's so, like, elegant, but stop smoking.
Yeah, no, I don't really smoke. Like
I knew you didn't. I knew you didn't. When I watched that video, I thought that woman doesn't really smoke.
You could tell by the way I smoke.
It was really dramatic,
but I mean, I go through periods where I do have an occasional cigarette, but I haven't smoked in a long time.
Good. Don't.
And yeah, no, it's kind of, I'm lucky. I don't have like an addictive personality at all. So like I can buy a pack of cigarettes, have one, and then like leave the pack somewhere and like totally forget about it. Like it's just also like, I don't know, at the time it was go with the flow. I wanted to seem extra chill. I'm not a very chill person. I'm like kind of neurotic, right? So I just was like, what can I do to like Make myself look cool.
That's really Ples. That's really Ples rock.
Yeah.
No, but really, I don't, because I used to be, not for many, many years. I mean, I quit smoking like 30 years ago, but I was like a 2-pack a day guy.
Oh,
like
God.
I was a serious smoker.
Yeah.
And so I would have smoked this tablecloth. I would have smoked this sweater, you name it. But I went, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's a great video. Yeah. But at the Ginger, I mean, I love the whole, and the new album is great. Faith, which was just released, right?
Yes.
That record that just came out. Yeah. I love that I'm able to say a record, because it dates me like totally, but this is your first vinyl album, right?
It is my first vinyl. And do you want to see how pretty it is? It's not just regular vinyl.
Well, yeah, I know, but this is a tease, because I went on your website to buy your record, and I can't buy the gold album because it's sold out.
We made 200 copies, and I think they sold out in like 3 weeks or something.
Now you
ordered like 50 of them, like immediately.
Wow. And you also released this on a pink cassette?
Yeah. Yes.
So like, who's listening to vinyl and who still has a cassette player? Why vinyl? I mean, the pink cassette thing I sort of get, but why vinyl? And why did you feel that this record, and I love being able to say record because it is a record, that it should live on vinyl?
It felt like the right next step. And, CDs, like when I released Feeling Freaky in 2018, I released it on CD and tape, and CDs were still kind of like, you could still kind of sell them. And I still buy the odd CD because I've got a CD player in my car. And I listen to a lot of music in my car, but it just seemed like no one in my like kind of, not that I have a target age group. I think the music's pretty accessible to most ages, but people my age don't buy CDs. They have no way to play them. Computers don't even come with like CD drives anymore, right? Whereas I think like a decent amount of people have like novelty record players, and it is kind of like a cool thing. Like, if you're going to spend $20, you can buy a CD that you can't really play, or you spend like $25 and you get this cool thing, and you can even just like, I don't know, hang it on your wall. I don't know if anyone's
but I mean, because I've got, funny enough, we have 2 old stereo systems that kind of inherited, and I've got like, we've still got like milk crates full of albums that go back like to the dawn of time. I mean, I'm hoping that you'll release on 8-track next. That's what I'm sort of hoping that I'll get the 8-track cassette for the car.
That would be cool.
But yeah, there's just something. It's a different experience, isn't it?
It is.
Just taking the record out of the sleeve and putting it on, and the needle, like it's a really I was
interactive, right?
That's exactly what I was going to say. I somehow feel like I'm a part of the experience that you're giving me. It's not just throw it, and CDs are great. Like, I mean, they in their day they were terrifically convenient and all that kind of stuff. And I want to talk about delivery systems as well. Like, I want to come to that discussion after we.
Cool.
But also, it's so experiential to put on an LP. So so we've talked about it. Let's listen.
Okay.
I want to listen to, set this up for me. It's a video and it's a track. It's called Heaven.
Yeah. And
it's off of this first album, Faith, right?
Faith. Yeah. So Heaven was kind of the first real single that we put out with the album announcement. So we announced the album, I think, in September, and put out Heaven with the video. The music video I directed myself and starred in. So I got some like friends to kind of come together and shoot different parts for me. And it was really tricky actually making the video, because it was like my song, I'm in it, I'm directing it, I'm editing it. Like, it was a lot of
ego trip.
Me. It was like,
okay.
And it took me like a long time to edit.
Let's give it a listen, and even better, let's give it a look, because we have the video. So here it is. This is Heaven, Falk and Jane from Faith.
Heaven is a place I've been spending my time in, living my life in. You are always there with me to watch the sun setting, rise again. I don't even need to dream all of my feelings so surreal. Nothing's ever
So I guess, Sara, it just proves that you can't get to heaven without faith, I guess, right? Now, this album, I've listened to, I've listened to it all. I really want to get, I really want it. I want to be able to sit and really get into it, because you're an amazing writer, and there's some fabulous stuff there. Reading on your website, so as a result of a series of personal losses, it seems, is kind of that led you to this album, right? Even watching that video, there's kind of a sense of it's such a beautiful, I mean, lyrically, but just visually, it's a real statement. It's such a gorgeous, beautiful, idyllic kind of thing that's juxtaposed with what seems to be a struggle of something. Is that what it's about? Like, where did it come from?
I think, the sort of push and pull of the whole album is centered around faith and belief systems. Faith as a religious concept, faith in myself, faith in how I was feeling, faith in like an afterlife, just what I was believing, what I grew up believing, and challenging those kind of belief systems within myself, which kind of creates the struggle, but at the same time feeling a lot of like really pure and honest emotion that was coming out in some of the songs more so than other. Like, the struggle wasn't as present in all of the songs, I don't think, but definitely with Heaven, the verses are very like pleasant and idyllic, and it's like a place of, and I have a very like, even the video is like very calm in those parts, but then the chorus is like, even though it's like, it's a very powerful moment, but it's like starts on a minor chord, so there's this kind of spookiness about it, and it's almost like a choir of angels, but a choir of angels that like are kind of, I don't know if they're angry or just like, it just, there is like there's a duality to it. And when I was making the album, it was a very strange year. It was 2019. I mean, not as strange as 2020, but still strange. I did have like 5 deaths in my family. And so I was going to a ton of funerals, and my family, like I grew up Catholic and my family is Catholic. So the Catholic, like Italian Catholic funerals they're big. Like they're not just like chill, eat a sandwich and go on your day sort of thing. They're like multi-day big ceremonies, which is really cool and interesting. So I was just kind of like being faced with these kind of belief systems that I grew up with and what they were making me feel now, and also dealing with grief and dealing with like all the other emotions that come with it. And like, okay, I've lost all these people. Where'd they go? What do I believe it happened to them? And that was kind of like fueling me to make the album.
Well, I think the video, I mean, the song in the video, and forgive me, the discoveries that I'm making through the rest of the record is that what you were talking before about, that thing about, being the songwriter, being the director, is that it must be super cool to be able to really bring together all the aspects of your vision of what the song is, because you can do it both visually as a filmmaker, and obviously you're the creator of, you wrote the music, you wrote the lyrics, so of bringing those two worlds together must be because the video is terrific, but a really satisfying experience as an artist, I would think, to be able to have a full control of vision, as opposed to David Foster engineer or produce this part and somebody produce this part, right? It's your thing, which is really awesome. And it's a beautiful piece.
And I think that's a big difference between Feeling Freaky and Faith. It was kind of like a creative choice I made when I made Feeling Freaky, Falcon Jane was very much a band, and when we went into the studio as a 5-piece, and everyone played their piece and everyone wrote their parts, and it was super fun. But I just wanted to do something that was like me and like my vision. So like the whole album, like Andrew, my partner, and I like arranged, wrote, recorded the whole album ourselves just in my living room. And like some days I'd just wake up and like start recording, then I wouldn't touch it for like 2 weeks, and I could kind of like go at it slowly like that. So it felt very like personal and intimate to me to do that. And then, the videos on top of it was just like an extension of that. But then that's when I started going a little crazy and was like, this is too much me. Need some other people in here.
Okay, so here's something that really I'm struggling with, because music and the life of the musician and singer is a very big part of my life, based on my personal life and stuff like that. But one thing that I struggle with, because I know that, and I'm also a consumer, is the whole thing around, instant download, instant access. I guess I'm talking about platforms like Spotify, or like, how does a musician survive today, I guess, is really kind of my question. And I guess especially in these times, because there's no touring, like there's no, how did, it sounds like artists are seeing pennies in return on their creative investment. I don't just mean the cost of the record, but like as artists, what it costs emotionally and personally to create that for mere pittance return. Is it possible to make a living in the music industry anymore?
As like a independent up and coming artist, I don't know. Like my title on this video says videographer for a reason. It doesn't say like musician, right? Like I've obviously had to go and get a job. So, but I like that, like I love making videos. It's creative for me as well. But I don't know, the Spotify and streaming argument has two sides, right? Of course, they don't pay the artists enough. Like easy peasy, like you could say, like anyone would agree with that. But at the same time, it's like this platform where my music is being heard all over the world. People are discovering it through Spotify playlists, and like our Apple Music playlists. A lot of the streams that I get are from Spotify or Apple Music curated playlists. So they're adding my songs to certain playlists that hundreds of thousands of people listen to, and then they might discover me. But how much money do you make from it? Not a lot. That's also another reason why print vinyl, print something that people can buy, so that at least you can start seeing some sort of income come in, because people want to support, and spending $25 on a vinyl to support like an artist is nothing. You're getting something great out of it.
Oh, absolutely.
And enough people do it, right? Like you can fund your next album. So the lack of shows is hard, because that was always my plan for this fall, was to tour across North America and make some, I don't even know about make money, but at least like get another step up in my career to eventually maybe make money. But
because there aren't those, it's hard for creative artists. In this, I mean, it's hard for all of us, let's be honest, in these anxious times.
Yes.
But for the creator, the artistic creator, it's doubly confounded, just because that's what the expression is. It's a live experience. It's that.
Yeah.
So let's come back to Sara May just for a sec. So what is bringing joy to Sara May these days?
Okay, I've got two things. The first, cross-country skiing, which if you see me on the trail, just go by me, because I'm very slow and I'm new to it. And I've only done it like 5 times, but it's really fun. My mom got a new puppy, which is also very exciting.
Cool. Okay.
But that wasn't my second thing. My second thing was honestly like working with Theatre Orangeville. It's a whole new experience for me, like started, I think, in September, and just being part of something where people are like, they're doing something, they're being creative, and they're making something creative, and people are expressing themselves and giving it their all, and they're performing. And I love that so much. I've always loved that. And going without that for so many months, and then getting to see it again this fall and now in the new year, is just like, I love it. I love going to work. I love meeting people.
Me too.
It's just it's so enriching. So I'm very grateful for everything.
Okay. So how do people buy your music? How do we get the album? How do we get the pink cassette?
Okay, so there's still lots of black vinyls left. So unfortunately, no more gold vinyls. But if you want to buy them, you can just go to falconjane.com. You can see some music videos there, and there's a link to buy the album right there. I'll ship it to you personally, and Yeah. Or you can, if you don't have a record player or a tape player, you can buy it on iTunes if you want, or Bandcamp to show support. Or if you just want to stream it and that's your thing, stream it, because every little bit counts, right? Like, I'm not saying streaming is bad. Streaming's awesome. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
That's great. So listen, everybody, buy the record, come on, not just because she's local, not just because she was the improv queen at ODSS, not just because she's one of our own. Buy it because it's terrific music, written by a really great singer, songwriter. Sara, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And most of all, thank you for making us feel so pleas.
Well, ples vibes to all.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Oh, hello. It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while. I hope you guys had a good New Year's, a good holiday. Today I wanted to tell you guys about something that's been getting a little bit of buzz in the film world. It's a Danish film called Druk. Not drunk, Druk. D-R-U-K, although, we can all take one guess as to what it's about. On this continent, though, it's been renamed Another Round. And yes, I understand, subtitles, different language, none of that, okay? None of that. This film was official selection at the Cannes Film Festival. It's charming, it's funny, it's endearing. This film is fantastic. It takes a theory from a Norwegian philosopher named Finn Skarderud that all of mankind is born with a blood alcohol content level 0.05% too low. So the film follows 4 high school teachers, 4 husbands, 4 parents, as they simply test the theory. Is life better when you're a little bit buzzed, or is it just making you numb to all the problems that you normally have to deal with? It stars Mads Mikkelsen, who you'd know from more mainstream stuff like Hannibal, or Doctor Strange, or Rogue One, or famous Bond villain Le Chiffre in Casino Royale. And this film is being branded as not only one of the best performances of his career, but one of the best performances of the year. And in a year where there wasn't much to choose from, I highly encourage you to check this one out. And even if you don't, come February, come March, when you're making your Oscar predictions, maybe you're putting some money down, circle this one in the foreign language category. I wouldn't be surprised if you scored a few bucks doing that, because this movie is definitely being nominated in that category, and I wouldn't be surprised if it took home the award. So, Druk, or Another Round, give us a watch and tell us what you think. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Either way, we want to know what you're watching when you're not at your theater. Take it easy, guys, and here's to another absolutely fantastic year.
Thanks, John. Great suggestion. I can't wait to get caught up on it. You've always got great suggestions for us. Of course, we're all staying home these days. We're all trying to stay safe and doing our part, being responsible to curtail this pandemic that we find ourselves in. We are able to get outside still and take some exercise, something that you might want to check out. Go to orangeville.ca. There is a virtual tour of footsteps from our past. There's also a brochure that you can pick up at the outdoor rack at the tourism office over at Broadway and Highway 9. These are 3 walking tours around town. If you want to learn more about our local history, our heritage buildings, and still get a bit of exercise, distance, of course, make sure you're wearing that mask. Check that out, Footsteps from Our Past. That's through Heritage here in town. Or, as I say, the virtual tour at orangeville.ca. So it's really worth checking it out. Since we are at home, you might want to join us for more programming. Theatre Orangeville Presents Online. We've got great shows coming up. Again, part of our North 519 Act 1 Festival. Broadway Bound, which plays from January the 15th to the 28th. And Brave New Works, which is running from January 29th to February the 11th. Of course, these are online virtual experiences. Both of those shows star and showcase talents of remarkable young people from right here who actually grew up on your stage at Theatre Orangeville, who are now either in post-secondary music or theater programs, or have recently gone out into the business professionally. You want to check them out. They're really fantastic. Broadway Bound before they hit the other Broadway, and Brave New Works. Also coming up, An Affair of the Heart, which is our wonderful, romantic, beautiful Valentine show. That's going to run February the 12th to the 25th. And then we have a special feature, Script Tease, and you're going to hear more about that in the not too distant future, running from February 20th to March the 11th. Don't forget, you can watch these shows anytime you want in the comfort and safety of your own home. Just stay in your pajamas. You can watch them at 6 at night, 6 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon, whatever works for you. So go online, theatreorangeville.ca, and get your online ticket. Please, from all of us at Theatre Orangeville, stay happy, stay safe, stay healthy, and we will see you in your online theater really soon. Take care.